So, the green light. The green light flashes at the end of the pre-grid. And get ready for race number 4 out of 24 here today. Junior Rotax. Heat 2, Groups C versus D. Let's have a look at the starting order. So starting from, we've already had a breakdown before we've even gotten going. There is one driver trying to get the kart restarted, but it is going to be Farin Mega from pole position. The UK's Vinnie Phillips alongside Rafael Renhofer and Charlie Hart. That is your top 2 rows. Bruno Modders and Mikkel Pedersen rounding out the top 6 ahead of Aaron Krepsik. And the observer, Job Briefeld. Balazs Lantos and Colin Vajny round out the top 10. Colin Vajny actually running under the KR Sport warning this weekend. Bit of a change for the young Polish driver. Based out of the United Kingdom. Leon Zelenko and Montego Masson, row 6. Valentin Hervas and Thomas Gans, that is row number 7. And then we have Tommy van der Stroys, Milo Kaskinen, Adrius Rimkevicius, Maximilian Schreier, Alfan de Pavert, Jimmy Kokalainen, Devian Rost, and Benjamin Van Hees. That is your 22-strong grid, 11 rows of drivers. As they go on to the official formation lap, 7 minutes reset on the timer for this race. Now the red lights ignite once again onto the starting gantry. Looks like they're getting the formation underway rather rapidly indeed. So Farin Mega and Vinnie Phillips will be controlling the pace on the rolling start. Some struggles for the drivers. Tommy van der Stroys yesterday in qualifying. However, qualifying is one thing, racing is something completely different, as we all very well know. As Aaron Krepsik now gets into position on the inside of what will be row number 4 alongside Job Briefeld in the 2.05. The Dutch driver has got Colin Vajny just behind. A very slow crawl as Mega and Phillips are the ones leading the way. Right then, 7 minutes on the clock, plus an additional lap. It is Mega versus Phillips on the front row. Renhofer, Hart, Molders, Pedersen, Krepsik, Breedveld, Lantos and Vajny into the tram lines. Revs rise. We are lights out and off and away. And it's a great start from Farin Mega. Vinnie Phillips. Oh, what on earth happened there to Farin Mega as we've had a couple of turnarounds, one of which is the 2.08 Thomas Kans and the 2.67 of Balazs Lantos. Vinnie Phillips was round on the outside of turn number 2. And Farin Mega, I'm not too sure what happened to him. I'm not too sure if he got a little bit of an unsettling touch from behind. But he's very much going to be fighting back as it's disaster again for Maximilian Schreier from Germany. Didn't have the best of run under the nighttime sky yesterday evening. And those dramas carry on into heats day. It's not what the young German needed, however. There are still plenty of opportunities to compete in heats today. As the field makes its way through the first couple of corners and leading the way, it is the 2.77 of the Netherlands, Bruno Molders. As Job Briefeld in an absolute skirmish and a half. Just behind is the 2.51 of Croatia's Leon Zelenko, who's made his way up to 6th position. As a little bit further behind, Montego Masson definitely getting the elbows out ahead of Aaron Krepsik in the 2.40. Tommy van der Stroys up into P10. As the 2.51, Leon Zelenko up the inside of Briefeld, but Briefeld gets the counter-attack. So gets the switchback going through turn number 6 as Montego Masson battling away tooth and nail with another couple of drivers, and that is Mikkel Pedersen on the inside, and there is, oh my goodness me, that is Farin Mega. Dropped all the way down to 12th position. Not too sure if he had an issue with the kart, but Farin Mega is slightly out of position for how I normally customarily see him. Young German, this year's RMC Germany champion and vice champion in the B&O karting series this year, has already booked his place with Team Germany. But Bruno Molders leads Vinnie Phillips by 2.5 tenths of a second, but they're going through turn 3, and Phillips is definitely on the hunt. Is that Rafael Renhofer? Renhofer is there, and he's battling away with Breedveld and Zelenko. So Breedveld up into 3rd place as they make their way down. Montego Masson spat out sideways on the mid part of turn 6 onto the Europolan, and the German has got a bumper that is slightly askew, but the main thing is at least it is not dragging on the floor on one side, because otherwise that would have been straight away a mechanical black flag, but race control will be keeping their eye on that. If that bumper was flaming, that would have been a mechanical black flag. However, 4 minutes and 10 still to go. Battles up and down the order. Tommy van der Stroy strikes, and that is up the inside, I think, of the 278 from France, Valentin Hervas. Still, we're treated by this brilliant battle. This is between Charlie Hart from the United Kingdom, with who's running on the X-Prix chassis, battling away with Rafael Renhofer, and Croatia's Leon Zelenko going through turn 5 into the Europlan off of turn number 6. Oh, nice little move there by Charlie Hart to get up the inside of the German from FM Racing. As there's a few more moves, there was a little bit of a switch around a bit further down back the order off of the Europlan at turn number 6. But now Vinnie Phillips is keeping pace with Bruno Molders, and Bruno Molders is the fastest one out there, 56.127 seconds from the Dutchman. Going through into turn 12. And Vinnie Phillips has acclimatised to Rotax very, very well. This is the second meeting where I've actually seen him, and here he goes up the inside of Molders. Through into turn 2 goes the Brit and takes the lead on lap number 5. As there's some scrap, there's like 3 kart trains, line astern going across the start-finish line a little bit further down the order. But the battle at the front of the field is between Bruno Molders, who is actually running on a Sodi kart chassis. He's not running on the usual X-Prix, which says to me one thing: he's qualified for the grand finals. So this is a training exercise to see how he measures up with the Sodi kart. Obviously, with the grand finals, there are certain specific chassis providers for the grand finals, and Sodi kart is one of them. So through the go out of turn number 11, Vinnie Phillips being kept honest by Bruno Molders. There's Job Breedveld, there's Leon Zelenko, there's Charlie Hart, and Rafael Renhofer. Closing in on them is Tommy van der Stroy. And van der Stroy started 15th and now is in P7. As Renhofer looking up the inside of Charlie Hart through turn number 2. The German gets through, makes the switch. 4 position, that's for P5, and keeps the door shut firmly going through turns 3 into 4. Now into the left at 5. And Renhofer has had a pretty up and down season. Earlier in the season, second round of the Euro Trophy at Adria, had that massive incident that meant that he needed a new set of race overalls, and also he had an injured wrist as well, but he still came back to Mulsanne 5 weeks later and still was on pace. That just shows how much guts these drivers have. And it's now Tommy van der Stroy is closing on Charlie Hart, and here he goes. Is he looking for the inside through turn 12? Yes, the young Dutchman from Combi Kart Racing Team gets through. That's another position gained. He's up from, what was that, P15. He's up 9 places. So Tommy van der Stroy is the man on the move. And Bruno Molders, with about 60 seconds on the clock plus an additional lap, is keeping Vinnie Phillips very, very honest indeed. As the field makes its way through onto the Europolan, and a second and a half from Farin Mega. That's up the inside of Hervas from France, Valentin Hervas. So great work there by the German to now get himself back into what is now 8th position on the road. As the timer fast ticks away. But the two leaders making their way through turn number 11 as there is Rafael Renhofer being chased down by Tommy van der Stroys. Van der Stroys is looking for double figures of positions gained in just one race alone, and with 22 seconds away, plus an additional lap from finding out is he going to get P5 by the checkered. Right, Phillips leads by 2/10 ahead of Mulders. Van der Stroys is bringing along Charlie Hart for the ride, and now through turn 3. Van der Stroys gets the traction through 4, into 5. Is he going to get the switch going through turn 6? He does! Through goes Van der Stroys, up from 15th to 5th as now the timer expires. One more lap after this one, so Tommy van der Stroys, if he wants to have that 5th position at the checkered, he's going to have to fight for it, and Rafael Renhofer will fight him for it, as now Mulders goes sideways into turn 10, up the inside of Vinnie Phillips to take the lead on the penultimate lap of the race. Who'd have thought of that one? That's another chapter to the storybook here at the karting Genk. But out of the final corner, final lap board is out. Bruno Mulders has now got daylight between himself and Vinnie Phillips. Job Breedveld in 3rd. Leon Zelenko in 4th, and Tommy van der Stroys. Does van der Stroys have enough in the tank to close in on Zelenko? It looks possible. And he's getting closer. That 254 chassis is hooked up like a good one, and van der Stroys is on a flyer. Farin Mega sets the fastest lap of the race. Down the Europalan, they go for the final time as van der Stroys looks to try and get past Leon Zelenko. He could get the run coming through, but now van der Stroys has got Renhofer breathing down his neck, but van der Stroys up the inside, through into 4th from 15th at the start, but Zelenko will not relinquish it. And now van der Stroys slots in behind. So there is Renhofer, there's Charlie Hart, there's Mikkel Pedersen, and with them is also now Farin Mega. Now the checkered flag flies, and Bruno Mulders takes the heat victory ahead of Vinnie Phillips. Job Breedveld, as it's all flotsam and jetsam. Everyone's scrubbling. Oh, Mikkel Pedersen off the grass through the final corner. Oh my goodness me. It all went pear-shaped at the end for several drivers, but Leon Zelenko came out on top on that one. So the 251 takes 4th, but Bruno Mulders takes the victory in the 277 by 1.5 seconds ahead of Vinnie Phillips, having taken the lead on the penultimate lap of the race. So Vinnie Phillips takes 2nd. Job Breedveld makes it 2 Dutch drivers in the top 3 ahead of Leon Zelenko. Charlie Hart makes it 2 Brits in the top 5 in the 295 entry ahead of Rafael Renhofer. So we're going to have a look at the rest of the results. And Rafael Renhofer takes 6th place ahead of Tommy van der Stroys, who was on course for maybe getting 4th at the end of it, and ends up 7th ahead of Farin Mega. Mikkel Pedersen did a bit of a rallycross special coming out of turn number 12 whilst everyone was tripping all over their own Mojo Racing tyres. Finished in 9th ahead of Valentin Hervas. Then Aaron Krepsik, Colin Vajny, Adris Rimkevicius, Ralph van der Pevert and Balázs Lantos rounds out the top 15 ahead of Thomas Kans, Milo Kaskinen, Kevin Ross, Benjamin Van Hees, Montego Masson, Jimmy Kokalainen and Maximilian Schreier.